Morning, everybody. How you all doing? It is April 11th. What's the 411, Yesterday was 410 day, so I got my Baltimore Black Sox jersey on. Got to represent. Um, and I know it was yesterday, but I'm going to do the whole damn weekend. I'm going to see Joe Coy tonight down in Macon, Georgia. I want to check him out. I've been wanting to see this kid for a long time, too. I think I'm going to bring some of my CPAP supplies because he also uses a CPAP. So I think I'm. Oh my goodness! Did we coordinate, bro? Did we?
Not,
Did we coordinate? Not even
I,
talk about it.
hey, brother, I just got up and just said, hey, man, it's gonna be this kind of day.
Hey, look, that's what's up. That's even more lovely. What's going on, family?
Man,
That was
what's up,
not
brother?
intentional, and we just talked. I was like, "Yo, look, I'm gonna lean into mental health a little bit at the beginning because I got a couple of things to say. Going through these
Yeah.
appointments for the VA and stuff.
Okay.
Had a mental health appointment. I think was it this week? No, I think it was last week. Last week Monday. Anyhow, though, there's been some things that continue to come out of that that I definitely wanted to share and discuss. God dang, dog, we like twins. That's funny. That's bananas. That's
And
bananas.
Rodney,
Yo, now that would be totally insane.
yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to share some stuff. Talked to Rodney early in the week about some things too, and he challenged me. He was like, "Yo, I would like to have a discussion about friendship because, like, how many friends do you really have?" And I was like, "Well, I have a lot of associates. I have a limited amount of friends. Now, I consider my crew from the facility, the base I was stationed at in the UK. That's family. That's not even friends. So I wouldn't consider them. But there are others out there that I consider true friends and stuff.
Mhm.
Then he was like, okay, I understand that, but how many people, could you lean on in case of emergency? And I told him, I said, probably about 10. I could name 10 of them, easily
Yeah.
name 10 of them.
Mhm.
Now I would not tap them if I don't have to tap them, but I could definitely name 10 of them in case of emergency. I can break the glass. And we'll get into specifics later on. Something else has been going on in the background. Hopefully, you all have seen it. If you haven't, check us out. I've been using. I'm gonna talk like an old person on purpose. I've been using the TikTok here lately. So StreamYard will actually allow you to use the AI tool to generate clips. So I've been posting those clips to TikTok here lately, trying to see what traction that would get. And to be real with you, it's been nice. Now I do need to go back in and make some adjustments to the page to give some specifics about who we are, what we do, so people can find us. My man Mayo's supposed to be on a little bit later on, so so he can join our conversation about friendship and things of that nature. But yeah, um, uh, I want other people to be able to find us more directly, and I think this would be a very good avenue to do so. Again, I was just playing with it. I knew I needed to do it. CeeLo's been telling me forever to do it. Thomas has been like, "Yo, we need some clips." Blah blah blah. You're right. I'm trying to get to that space in life now where I free up some time intentionally to do stuff like that. The job has really blessed me. I had an opportunity. Unfortunately, there was an issue that I had to tend to for somebody else. But what that created for me was time. It really allowed me to free up not only my time, but my money. And when both of those things are more free, I have an opportunity to do some other stuff. You did.
Mhm.
So, that's one of the reasons I say I need a wife, like bad, definitely need a wife. Just yo, I need somebody to help me free up my damn time for real. And I think we talked about this before. Like, I need a wife to buy me some damn drawers and some socks. Like, do you understand how expensive drawers and socks are for a man? Now, women understand. Your bras, depending on your size, can be very expensive. I
For
get it.
sure.
But think about that with respect to everything that we get. You know what I'm saying? Like, undershirts for men are not cheap. Them things are not cheap at all. I ran up in Costco the other day, and they had a 3 pack for $10, and I started gobbling that up, man. I'm like, yo, I need a couple of them. That is truly inexpensive for men's undergarments. So I definitely hopped on that, and I plan on going back and getting some damn more. To be real with you, because that is fairly inexpensive. I got the two just to get the feel for how comfortable they were and things of that nature. And I'm digging them, so I'm definitely going back to getting them more. You know what I mean? Um, Another thing before we get into the mental health stuff, I've been really cutting down on my sugar. Really cutting down on my sugar intake, like big time. Son, let me tell you, I'm a Snickers head. Not a sneaker head, a Snickers head. Like I need a Snickers every day. At least one. See what I'm saying? At least one. You know what I'm talking about? And dog, when I get on that road and I start driving long distances, man, I get the big old joint. And depending on how long I'm driving, I'll get either one or two of them on the big old joint, man. That shit's horrible. But I have really cut back. Even my fluid intake. I'm not a big soda dude. That's just not my thing. But I love lemonade without a doubt. And even that for me has to go like back. I've been doing a lot of the diamond. Listen, diet Sunjoys from like Chick-fil-A. I'll get the unsweet tea and the diet lemonade and stuff like that. Man, I've been on it, yo, for real. It's been crazy for me. But I gotta stop cheating. I'm gonna tell you why. My ass wanted the cookie so bad yesterday. I took my ass over to that damn Jimmy John's and got one of them chocolate chip chunk joints that I so love. Man, I ate that motherfucker and I was high as hell. I was pinging off the walls. That shit hit my system. I was like, whoa, whoa, I can't be doing this, dog. If I do this, it got to be in small increments. Yo, I probably needed to cut that joint up and eat it in 10 fucking pieces for real. Like it was horrible. I was pinging, doc. But they said I got 10 pairs of sports socks for $5 from Costco. I bought 3. Yeah, bro, you definitely got to hop on that. You definitely got to hop on that. That ain't no daggone joke. But yeah, man, it's one of them
That's
things
nice.
where I'm taking that sugar in now. Whenever I get it, I be high as hell. You talking about the sugar rush? Whew, it ain't cute. It ain't cute at all.
Right.
Morning, Sister Rasha. How you doing? I see you on. Good looking. Good looking. Yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about with respect to mental health, though. So I'm hitting it real heavy, talking to the doc, thinking about what the doctor said to me. And one of the things the doctor used to say, well, that's not true. One of the things the doctor asked me was, how would you describe your military service? And I was like, oh, it was great. That's a lie. That is a lie. I say it's great because I'm always thinking about the fun. And I had a lot of fun. I will never deny that. But the other side of it, the separation of family at such a young age, the abandonment feeling that I felt from family at such a young age. I went through basic training without a letter from my family. I didn't get a single letter, not a letter, not a card, nothing. And I went through basic training right before my birthday. So
Mm.
I graduated from basic training, I want to say 2 or 3 September. My birthday is September the 9th. I was in AIT. Well, it's not AIT for the Air Force. It's called Tech School for the Air Force. Advanced training for my job during my birthday. And the girlfriend that I had at the time, she was the first one to really send me a letter or a card. That was rough, transitioning that and going through that and trying to navigate. Again, I'm just turning 18 years old. I was in San Antonio, Texas. I ain't never been to Texas. The furthest I ever been away from the crib, New York or Baltimore, was North Carolina. That was the furthest I've ever been away from the crib as a kid. So doing that, and then uh, I'm gonna get to you. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get to you. I got a comment. I'm gonna read in half a second. But anyhow, doing that and going into AIT, then there was a situation that happened between a young man and a young lady. He was accused of raping her. Well, he was my roommate. And I didn't know this dude. His brother tall. I remember he was brown skin. I don't even remember the dude's name. You know what I mean? Because he was not there long at all. This happened fairly early into my tenure there. But there was some gruff about that. You know what I mean? And when you join the military, man, there's one thing, all you veterans comment on this. There's one thing they beat you over the head with consistently. One thing. 4 letters. UCMJ. They hit your ass over the head with that all the time. Universal Code of Military Justice. They are telling you constantly what will get your ass in Leavenworth. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm barely 18 years old. I'm dealing with a situation where it was a potential rape. That cat was my roommate. And he black. Guess what she was?
White.
She was white. You know what I mean? So it was a whole racial component to it. Again, I grew up between Harlem, Baltimore. White folks ain't walking around calling you nigga in Harlem and Baltimore. That's not gonna happen. Not and they don't and not they live. That don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. So I never had seen anything like that in my life to that point.
Hmm.
This thing started happening. Man, that was rough, Jack. That was rough. So then, OG, OG guys, I get to the UK. Now I stayed in Texas for a little while, but then eventually I did PCS to the UK. So I get to the UK and I find my family. I find folks who embrace me. They took me in. They took care of me. They looked after me, and they were willing to pour into me constantly. And some of the lessons I did not learn until much later because Todd said it best. Todd was like, "Bro, you were loud. You were loud in everybody's face. Like what? You and Lil D, y'all was ready to fight all the time." I'm like, son, I'm from the street, son. I'm from the street. I'm ready to get it in. Like what? I don't care. So some of those lessons again, I did not get then. It took me a while to get them. But once I got them, I'm sitting back like, God, that's what they was talking about. That's how I need to move. Okay, got you. But now I have a resource. Now I'm picking up the phone. Yo, give me some more of that. Because I'm trying to do this, and all I keep hitting is roadblocks. What am I missing? And now I got people, OG Gas, Todd, Terry, Milk, Mel, others, whom are like, yo, look at it like this. Try to come from this angle. You know what I mean? That was crazy, man. But again, I'm talking to this cat and I'm saying to him, but that's not true. I said to him this Monday, just passed. I called him first thing in the morning and I said, yo, I gotta go back to what I said. And it doesn't matter if you've done my evaluation and submitted it. I don't care. I need to say this. And I just told him what I just told you all. Like, I kept thinking about the good shit. I never thought about the bad shit. And I can't tell you if none of that would have happened in my life had I not joined, but it happened in my life when I did join. That's all I can speak to you about. And I can tell you without a doubt that has fucked with me for years. It has plagued me for years. But you get people now, right? And I was trying to get Terry on, and I bullshitted, and it happened the way it happened. But Terry says all the time, he says, yo, you love everybody. And I said, no, that's not true. I love the motherfuckers that love me. I love the people who showed up for me. So OG is on right now. He's listening. Try not to cry. So it was my birthday. 93? 93. Yeah, because you and Roy was still there. And I'm sitting in the room and I'm definitely melancholy. I'm just not feeling it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is what the fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like, goodness gracious. And there was a knock on the door. I think I've shared this with you all before. I never kept my door locked. So I was like, yo, come in. So it was another knock on the door. I'm like, stop playing on the fucking door. Come in. So it was another knock on the door. And I'm like, yo. So I get up. I got attitude. I open up the door. OG guy standing on one side of the door frame. Roy standing on the other side of the door frame. And I'm like, yo, what's up? What's up? So they start this whole little story. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the UK. It's chilly in September, without a doubt. You all know I'm a huge Duke fan. So they go into this, yo, a little cool outside, ain't it? Like, Other one goes, yeah, it's a little chilly, you know what I'm saying? About, it's like something more than a sweatshirt weather though, right? Like, yeah, I think something more than a sweatshirt would be appropriate for this time of the year. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck are they talking about? So they go, bam, give me this reversible Duke jacket. I lose it. I'm yelling, screaming, crying, whole nine. I get myself together, and say like, yo, it's more, it's more. It's like, what's up, what's up, what's up? And the other one goes, it's be real nice to, have something to listen to on these cooler evenings, wouldn't it? Like, yeah, I'm like, where these cats going at with this, right? Yeah, it was the starter jacket. You're right. So so then the other one comes with bam, it was a new CD by Cypress Hill. It was the just released same week. It was crazy. So yeah, it was amazing. But that made my birthday. You know what I mean? And it turned my whole attitude around. I was locked in, and it solidified that love and that family type atmosphere forever, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And this is where, Thomas, I was saying to you earlier, the work that you're looking to do with the Watch app and have those mental health services available to the peoples is very important, because it may not be a situation where someone's jammed up in the eyes of the police. It may very well be a situation where someone's just jammed up in life and they need somebody to talk to. And I don't think that we always have an opportunity to reach out to talk to somebody. And I've been very blessed to have a circle of people that allow that from me to them. They understand that when I pick up that phone and I ring it to them, it's not always because I want something. It's because I want to make sure that I'm a part of something and I'm doing my part to be a part of that something. I never take their appreciation for me for granted. I never want them to think that I underappreciate what they do for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Thomas.
Oh, you want me to talk? Oh, I thought my bad, bro. I didn't know you landed. I was like, hey. Well, listen, man. I would say salute to those brothers for being able to, and that's the beauty of being black. Like we often talk about what's wrong with us, but man, there is typically no better cheerleader for other black folks than black folks. Black people, we have that way, and not even just for us. It can be the most oddest, weirdest person on the planet, no matter the race. But if we feel like the world is against you, we're rooting for you. And I do feel like that's a little different compared to other people in that capacity. And we are working on the mental health aspect of the app because I do feel like, especially in this time and age, and I've been saying this locally to black men, that there's almost this piece where people act like black men have somehow arrived or black men will figure it out. And what I was saying to some brothers, if we were going to figure it out, we would have already figured it out. We're not going to figure it out on our own. So we need the support of each other, and we need to continue to uplift each other. We have to continue to build on each other, and we have to continue to make spaces for us, because what I notice is that people will love to manipulate our pain, our demise, and our success for their own gain without us. It's almost like the world at this point, and I'm speaking solely to black men. They want to have everything that we can invent and create without us. And they'll say, whatever it is, but as long as we're not around, and you see it. I saw it here with George Floyd. I know George Floyd was alive. Most of the people that's out here saying that they're protesting and all that for that brother, 6'5", dark-skinned brother, walking down the street, talking, saying what's up. Man, a lot of folks wouldn't respond to that brother. They try to cross the street, clutch their purse. clutch their pearls, lock their doors when he's walking past. Oh, he's dead now. Oh man, we rallying for George. But when George was alive, could George get you to give him 50 cents? You know, and that's the thing with the average black man. And that does mess with your psyche. When you go places and you see people, you see your own people, and your people don't see you. But it's this responsibility for you, Lee, as a black man, to be responsible for the safety of every black woman inside the room. But every black woman in the room won't even say hello to you.
Won't give me 5 seconds.
But you
Not
got,
five seconds.
but you still got to speak to her, because the expectation is for you to speak to her. But you
And make
ain't,
her feel safe.
and make her feel safe, but she has no responsibility or obligation to speak back to you, because what they're going to say to you is she may be going through something that day and every other day. But nigga, it does not matter what you're going through at that moment. It's on you to not only speak, but secure the parameter and make sure that this person who is happily to speak to all the white people in the room and every other person in the room is safe. But you, on the other hand, and to have that weight is a continuum. And I see it with young black boys. I see them struggling from that aspect. But what you found over in the UK with the people who they said, hey, brother said, hey, we saw you was young and we decided to step and we wanted to make sure we secure you and all that. That's at the essence of who we are. We had sister on a couple of weeks ago who talked about her relationship, y'all brotherhood, sisterhood with each other, right? And stepping in, right? That's the essence of who we are. That's who we should be. That's who we should present ourselves everywhere we go. And I would say if we did that collectively, we probably wouldn't have as much anxiety. We wouldn't have so much depression. And I'm going to say this one, we probably wouldn't have so many of us dropping off from cancer. Because that internalized stress turns into a cancer inside of our body. And that's the only thing that we've ever had to fight back against white supremacy and oppression, is that he said we was both ex-bangers, so we knew.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when you so there we go. So now you speaking my language. But that's the main thing though. If you got ex-bangers, if you know people, respect begets respect. That's the thing that people in the hood who truly are from that aspect of it understand. Commoners don't have it. What is it? Civilians don't get that. Respect begets respect, right? But if you don't have no respect for nobody, you probably ain't gonna get no respect. And people who don't give respect are typically seen, to me, as victims. We already know who that person is. Oh yeah, we're gonna get him. Why? Because he ain't paying attention to nothing going on in the room, thinking it's all about him. Whatever the case may be, slipping.
Just walking around like this. Just walking around.
Hey, listen. Listen, it's so easy to get this person right here, because who gonna feel sorry for him? I'm pissed everybody else off in the room anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know, you stick a gun in that person's face, everybody, I was hoping somebody got his ass. That's how that's how it works. So I'm just saying, to the mental health aspect of it, you know, that's why we wanted to create that aspect of the app. So I thank you for that, and I do. You know, we're working on this Black Man Chess thing inside of Minnesota or Minneapolis. We're gonna invite brothers throughout the Twin Cities. But the main thing is to make sure Black men, we get on top of our mental health. And it's not saying that we don't care about nobody else's mental health, but we have to get on top of our mental health. We have to get on top of our economic health. We have to get on top of our educational health and all of these other things, because if we don't, what we're seeing is nobody else is going to go and get it and bring it back to us so we can be well off. As a matter of fact, what people tend to do is they go get it and then they start trying to become our oppressor. And we shouldn't, and Black men, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. So you can't allow people to oppress you, because you see the white man don't feel sorry for oppressing you. So you can't expect any other group to have any sorrow, because they have education, because they have resources, they have newfound things that they're using, the same tools that white folks use to break you down psychologically, displacing you from a lot of the resources that you should have. And so I just want to make sure that we do that, and also teach brothers that once you get these things, that you should not turn out to be an oppressor yourself. You should use whatever you get to uplift not only your woman, not only your children, but your community. There's no such thing as this self-love, self-care, which is so objectifiable and so dismissive of other people, that your self-love, your self-care is to oppress or to harm other folks. Like that's just some BS, and it's rooted in white supremacy ideology. I don't care, I don't care what type of African patterns you got on, or what kind of fufu you eat. No, because
Right.
because that's what it
We got
is,
sheep
like.
running that way in that day.
Come on, man. So yeah, so I appreciate it, brother, and I apologize, Sister Rashi, for taking so long. I wanted you to hop on in there. What's up with you this morning? You got on an orange shirt?
That would be crazy.
No, I don't have, and I left my hat at work,
Oh,
and so
shame on
I
you.
won't be
Shame,
able to join.
shame on
I
you.
won't be able to. We had wacky hat day, and I had went on ahead and went wacky with my hat. This fact, I only had I own, so it's wacky that I got one hat. Period. Could you imagine a person with one hat? So no, I am not wearing orange. I am wearing my pajamas. I told y'all I do. My I work as much as I can out of my room in my bed if I can. Uh, but I do like when I hear black men talking, I listen, and I'm really glad to see that that y'all are trying. Y'all trying not to, because we didn't went through 30. I mean, that crack epidemic, we say what it did for the actual addict, but it also eroded something very, not just the crack epidemic, but gang culture in itself. Now, I'm not saying gangs were anti family or anti unity. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the family message, the unity that gangs were rallied around was sometimes so negative that even though these men were taking care of each other, they were having to destroy the community in order to get the funds to do it. And so I am happy to see that post, after we did the gang truce for the most part, and we didn't put down as many of them rocks as we can, and some, it's almost impossible to remove out of the population. But the brotherhood still remains after the most of the violence and the community destruction is done. And so just to know that you don't have to be a b-boy on the block in a white shirt with the beige pants, because that's what everybody who sold dope in Kansas City was wearing. I mean, when they took off their gang colors. Once you realize that you don't have to be that you can take care of each other. You can take care of each other in jail. You can take care of each other when you enlist in the army. You can take care of each other mostly when y'all messing with each other's sisters and stuff. Because that's what I mean. This is what it is. You form bonds with the male members of female family. The female ladies you messing with, and so this is where it's gonna take. You absolutely right, brother. If there is nothing else we gonna do, real work can be done from black men looking at each other, not even at black women, just looking at each other, one another, and saying, "That's right. You on the first of all, you above ground. Second of all, you able bodied and willing to do what it takes to make it better. Or if your body ain't right, maybe your mind is right. If your mind and your body ain't right, then you are our task. You taking care of you is the work of the collective brother. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, brothers, for being willing to be taken care of, right? That's another pet
Absolutely.
peeve among black men, don't I? I got my world. I got my shit. I got mine. So you get yours. No, there is no mine and yours. There'll be no true unity or liberation when there is no sharing of the shekel. So I appreciate y'all being willing to be taken care of. And I also appreciate y'all checking on each other. I mean, I know y'all don't be checking on me as much, but I know y'all check on each other. I know y'all call Mr. Rodney, and I know Mr. Rodney calls y'all whenever y'all wake him up or he can get a moment from his,
Oh,
long.
they pick him up.
That motherfucker list is long. I tried to deal with Mr. Rodney. That list is so long of work that he does,
Okay,
and that work is what you're talking about.
hold on,
Checking
hold
on
on,
his brother. Go
hold
ahead.
on, hold on. No, I don't want to cut you off. I want to build off of that before we can bring in Mayo. That's my man right there. I want to say something to that. Please tell the people that one more time, Rashi, because people don't believe me when I go to Vegas. And I'm like, yo, I work harder in Vegas than I do when I'm home. When you rolling with Rodney ass, you going to be working from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. There's a meeting to attend. There's somebody to meet. There's something to discuss in the community. Please say that one more time, Rashi, so people can hear it all the way in the back.
Man, him and the general, I came back and my pants didn't fit, okay? Him and the general wore my ass out from two-stepping to the listen, there was, and then again, I need to thank the general because it was her time. I mean, you can't, Mr. Rodney's time is prescribed. The people who Mr. Rodney are talking to today made an appointment with him 2 or 3 days ago. And if you think you just going, you could probably call him, but then he's going to add you to the queue. And you just gotta wait until I ain't never seen no shit like it. He gotta go in single stall bathrooms. Cause if he go into the bathroom, someone is at the urinal. Hey, what's up, brother Smith? And you think he done slipped and fell and hit his head in the toilet? No, he's having his fifth meeting of the day by the urinal as he washed his hands. And you like, what the hell happened? Why would you be in a bathroom for 45? My boy, Ted. See, and then he tried to explain how he knew Ted. Hell no. Let's move on. And so just being around him puts you in like a daily meeting that happens in impromptu places. He didn't know. The meetings are
And
did you
it's
go to
in
Red? You go to
perpetuity.
if you
It's
go
in
to Red
perpetuity. It
Lobster,
just does
there's
not
somebody
stop.
waiting on them at Red Lobster to talk. We went to some other crabs. There was somebody waiting on them there to talk. There was somebody waiting on them at the thing to talk. I was like, okay. So I spent, while I did enjoy my time in Vegas with Mr. Rodney, I spent a considerable amount of time with the general because Mr. Rodney is his time is prescribed, and
Okay.
so I like to, I just honored it. I just sat there and watched because I didn't. It's the closest to being around like a celebrity. It's like being around a football player who fucked his back up, but he was the best in the field when he was on it or whatever, and everybody still want to talk to the star, but he's out the game, so he's moving a lot slower and he's chilling. He's just trying to live his life, but yeah, there's a line of people waiting to see the star, and they didn't even know they was gonna get a sighting.
So I want to bring Mayo in, bro. You on mute? You got yourself on mute. Morning to you. How you doing?
Doing
So,
great. How you all doing?
well,
Doing
thank you, thank
well.
you, thank you. So, I don't. Have you been on the show before, D?
It was a long time ago. I think
Long
we
time
was
ago.
talking. Yeah, but
Okay,
it's before you
okay,
had this format. Yes.
okay.
Hmm.
So our story is this: we met New Year's Day, 1994. It's easy to remember because
Hmm.
we were in discussions about the same young lady.
It wasn't. It wasn't really discussions. We was in not in competition, but
We
you know
were.
how it is. Like with football offense, when one person moves out the way, you kind of step in, and then when that person step away, the other person steps in. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how we met. And again, it's so easy to remember when we met, right?
Hmm.
Long story short, we connected obviously same day. He started coming through where I was stationed. I invited him down. He came through. He enjoyed it, so he started coming down to get a break from London. We lost touch, bumped into one another at the gym. Did not even recognize one another. We did not recognize one another. So it just so happened we're leaving the gym at the same time. And as we're walking, as we're literally hitting the door to go out, we both was like, yo, do I know you? So then we started putting it together and we realized who one another was. So he was in town. This is when I was stationed in Montgomery. He was in town for like a week, I think, at a
Yeah.
conference, whatever.
It was a tech conference. Yes.
There you go. So we
Hmm.
we started hanging out and stuff. Lo and behold, he goes back to the UK. Um, I get out. He gets to DC. I'm back in Baltimore. So again, we reconnect. We running back and forth up 295, hanging out with one another. I'm going down, he coming up, vice versa. Hell, it was times when he came up, we turned right back around, went right back down to DC to hang out for the night or whatever. It was bananas. This is just what we did, right? So the years go by. He leaves again, comes back again. Bye bye boom. We are shit. That was 32 years ago. So 32 years in now. He's since retired twice. Congratulations on the second retirement from the airline. He
Thank you.
um, he retired from the Air Force. Not every black person is in the army, and uh, you know, I was at his retirement. I was at his 50th birthday party. We're normally at Capital Jazz Fest every year together. Unfortunately, does not look like it's going to happen this year, but it doesn't matter if we're in the proximity of one another. Somehow or another, we're going to connect. If for nothing more than 5 minutes, we are going to connect. He came up one time. Did you blow your Achilles? He on crutches. And he went out to
Yeah.
get some food.
Yeah.
I called him. He was like, "No, that's not true. You called me. You were like, yo, what you doing?" I was like, "No, I'm chill." He's like, "Man, I'm coming up." I'm like, "Where you at?" He was like, "Well," I was like, "Yo, meet me in Bowie and we'll just go grab some food." So he didn't tell me he blew. He walks in with crutches. Like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Man, I needed to get out of the house. Like, I'm sitting around just going bananas. Like, I couldn't do nothing, so I just needed to get out." So we had a great time. We sat there. We tripped for a good minute. We've been back and forth to London a couple times together. Yeah, we've had some amazing connects back in the UK. It's just it's always lovely because he was in London proper. I was closer to Oxford, so he knows the ins and outs of London intimately. I know the ins and outs of Oxford intimately. So when we link, it's like, okay, now we got the majority of the damn country together, and we like, okay, we can go here, we can go there. Like, about this. Then we know the same people. It's bananas. It's bananas. But my man 50 grand, without a doubt. I told you plenty of times, you know, I really appreciate you. Um, we have definitely enjoyed some great times. we have enjoyed some great times together. You know, uh,
You on here sounding like Donald Trump talking to
I know, right?
Epstein now,
I know,
talking
right?
about
Whoa,
I love
whoa,
your
But
whoa,
happy
whoa,
birthday,
whoa.
but
and me
it
and
was
Arson, we
it was
got our secrets.
it was no, it was nothing like
Nothing
that.
like
It was
that.
nothing
Oh
like
my
that. It's
God.
never
What
been
Nope.
anything like
the
that.
heck?
It's really
No
been
way.
it's really been a meeting of like souls because you know Mayo's pretty quiet, just like I'm pretty quiet, but that allows us to get in those cracks and those crevices that most people don't get into with certain people, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, I know. I was like, oh yeah, I know yo too. Like, oh cool. Well, they just called and they was like, yo, let's come over here. Boom, they already got us. Like, oh, that's what's up. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. It's he knows somebody that I may not know, but it's like, yo, they called me and was like, yo, where you at? And like, I'm over here, my man with me. Oh shit, if he with you, he's good too. Come through, boom, and it's vice versa. You know what I mean? It's been a very good relationship. Very good relationship. We've been very good friends. You know what I'm saying? Very. I won't talk for you, so I'll shut the hell up and let you
Wait a
talk.
minute. Let me ask
What
before
have
you
you
start
seen?
talking. Hold on, brother Mayor.
Mhm.
Brother, hold on,
Mhm.
Vaughn. You know what good friends can do. Good friends tell you to hush up. You can't buy
There you
that.
go.
You can't go there. No, you not
Yep.
Mhm.
messing with her. No,
Yep.
do you have that amount of power over that brother? Can you make him stop, say, buying shoes that he doesn't need?
Are you talking
I
about
would
me
say
for Lee? I say, yeah, but it's always been such a good balance. We never put each other in any of those positions, you know. So it's kind of like I'm not gonna say alpha and omega type of situation, but it just like feel like kindred spirits from day one. Even at the refrigerator, it was never no malicious competition. It was like, okay, my turn. Okay, your turn. Okay, we both struck out. So what's your name? How we gonna do this? So, and it's always just carried like that way from day one. It was like, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So New York is not known to be very social, and but it was just something with me and Lee that it's just like felt like he was my brother from day one. And it was always that type of kinship that always followed with us, that there was never no airs about each other, never a competition. We've always tried to upheld each other, and always been an attentive ear, a shoulder, and and all that as well. A lookout, wingman, maybe at some points, but all in all, it's just been that level kindred type of friendship.
yeah. It's been it really has. You know, again, when my grandmother was still alive, man, he'd be at the house just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I call home like, Ma, you need anything? And she like, Nah, Derek here. Derek, what? Yeah, he right here. Here you go. What's up, bro? What's going on? Shit. Hey, we going boom, boom, boom. But I came up early, you know what I'm saying? Checked on Ma, and she was like, boom, boom. So I went to the store, and I'm right here, you know what I'm saying? Hey, how long you gonna be before you get home? Oh shit, about 20 minutes. All right, that's what's up. Look, hey son, this how you need to dress when you get here. I'll be chilling. You know what I mean? If you need anything, just hit me back. Back. You know what I mean? And I walk in the crib. He's sitting there with grandma in the living room. They talking, laughing. And, she, hey, baby, how you doing? Hey, ma. And like, yo, what's up? Nothing. I'm about to get ready, son. All right, cool. Hop in the shower, throw some clothes on. We out the door. You know what I mean? And that was that. It was straight like that. If he drove up, I would drive back. I would drive down, drive back up. He'd pick up his car and drive right back. That's what I'm talking about. Like it was crazy. We would literally go back forth, maybe back and forth again. It was just like, and it was never a thing. Never a thing. We've never argued. We've never
never. Whoa. Now see, now I want to challenge that friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand a friendship that has never had one conflict that had to be resolved. I think that being able to resolve a conflict.
I don't
think it's humanly possible to always.
No, men don't typically have those type of relationships with their close friends because it's a level of synergy, it's a level of responsibility, and the other side of it too with your homeboys. If your homeboys are having conversations with you not to have conflict, it's just so that it's like a guidance for a sense. And so you might have disagreements or differences, and it's a different from being different, having differences and being indifferent. Men who are good friends with each other are not indifferent to their good friends. And I got a circle of brothers that I have differences with from time to time, but we're not indifferent to one another, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that they should have broken their friendship. I'm just saying that most friendships come with, especially over time, especially for long term, right? It come with at least one discussion where they was like, hey man, why you didn't? And he was like, man, I didn't because, and then I hate you. I don't never, not that type of stuff, but just, I don't know people, any human, to have, what you say, 30 years? What you say, what y'all working on now?
32
years.
Mm-hmm.
And now I understand them to have a conflict and fix it, but your statement was, we have never had an argument, we've never had a conflict, and I want to say that is you just have to accept, as far as the human psyche is concerned, that 32 years with, would you say, pretty decent contact in between, except for that little time when y'all had lost touch before y'all met at the gym again.
Mm-hmm.
That there would be something. I mean, even if just one big booty girl that both y'all wanted, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
or borrowed money that didn't get returned.
We don't care.
You stretched Lee. You would have stretched out one of his good shirts or something. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about.
Men, see, that's teenage boy type relationships. When you get to a certain standard as a man and with your homeboys, and when you really see somebody as your brother, that ain't how you get down.
Not at all.
Like you it's just a difference in communication. It's a difference in what we have for each other a lot more that women don't have for one another? Grace. Black men have more grace for their brethren, a level of understanding and conversation, and a lot of shit that women fall out from. We look at y'all and be like, these motherfuckers crazy. Like, because we don't care about that. Like,
it ain't worth it.
You don't like the fact that her man is talking to her. Like, why is that your business? Like, the things that ain't our business, we be like, yo, that really ain't our business. And even if it ain't, but I can have a conversation with my homeboy and be like, yeah, I probably wouldn't went with it that way. But we're not gonna fall out with it because we said, hey, I would have went about it that way. You could have done it different. It's like, this is my brother. He's saying it this way because he really cares about me. And even though we may disagree, I know that there's a level of a bond here. And listen, it's just, I got brothers like that. You know, that's me. That's Travis. That's Mujasi. That's Nick. I could go down the list. Lee. I go down the list, and we just don't. That's not what we do. It's like we can. This is a lot of stuff that we just tend to as men, because we understand it's hard being a black man in the world. Period.
Say that again.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
And so we're not trying to put that extra stuff on each other. And it's also a level of the reason why I can fool with you like that is because we already got this synergy. There's some synergy here. And so when you got that synergy, you don't have those ruffles. Now, the only time a man can do that is if it's an act of true betrayal. And it's the betrayal that, hey, this is unmistakably a betrayal. Then you're no longer brothers. You're no longer friends. You can't patch it up. So Rashi, when it gets to that point, typically with us, it's like, man, I'm good on that person for the rest of the life, for the rest of my life. You know, I don't want no malice or whatever, but I don't got to deal with that person. And I'll let y'all speak for that. But I know how my circle of brothers are. That's kind of how we operate.
That looks like that's how Marlon. Good morning, Marlon. That's pretty much what he said. He said when men can't resolve conflicts, they separate, right? And so that's I wasn't trying to sow no dissension in between y'all's relationship, brother. Mayo. I was just trying to speak to the idea of how 30. I got a homegirl I've been knowing 32 years. I told her to quit wearing them nightgowns where you can see her nipples in my house while I was married, and she got mad and we not friends no more. But I know what I was saying. I have a husband and a son. Put that see-through as grandma nightie with that. It's got the pretty hospital flowers on there, but we can see your titties, boo. Put your titties up. And she was like, well, what are you trying to say? And I was like, I'm not trying. I told you. Find something else to wear for leisure wear in my house because I got men. And her thing was like, if you got a man, then what he looking at my see? I said, because he cited men look at nipples. That's what they do. Anyway.
Okay. So let me.
But the friendship is over that one thing. So move on.
OG Gas Timo is definitely in the building. So Timo and I go back to '92. This is one of the cats that found me in the gutter and picked me up and brushed me off a little bit. and kept me straight. Now I still don't understand how this brother can remember numbers the way he does, but that boy got a mind like a fucking steel trap. Now he and I were actually together closer to Oxford. That's when we met Mayo up in London. So we got 34 years in, Rashi, and here it goes again. No arguments, no crosswords, no arguments.
I can't understand not arguing with you. I've known you all this time. I know I couldn't exist without arguing with you, man. I don't understand. What are y'all doing? He not that. Okay, never mind.
That's just not how men operate. What's up, T?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up, Mayo?
What's good, T? Good seeing you.
We just talking about friendship and how those ties bind and how they last. We just got together in Orlando a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
You weren't able to make the New Orleans one, but you made the Orlando one, and we've already started planning the next one. When I say we, I mean me, because when I blow up the balloon to tell everybody to come, they just come.
Yeah, we come.
I'm a poor bitch. That's what it is. Yeah. But I also said, you stated that I love everybody. I got love for everybody, and I was like, that ain't true, because it ain't true. I got love for motherfuckers that love me. You know what I mean? Because I know how to dislike a motherfucker very easily. I ain't got no problem disliking somebody.
Let me rephrase since we're on camera. You have a wider bandwidth than some of the other cats in our England crew.
Okay.
Because we only like the cats that were in the hospital with us. But I don't know how you got in our group because Lee ain't hospital. Lee was a combat arms instructor. He just
I infiltrated, son. I was in the mix.
And I was IT from London. So it's just like that. Yeah.
So we like, who is this young cat running around here all this noise and can't drive? I'm like, I had never met anybody drive.
I couldn't drive. Stop it. I didn't have a driver's license. I could drive. I didn't have a driver's license until I got back to the world.
So yeah, we picked him up, and actually he picked us up too. So we all were just, you know how the military is, man. You meet people, and that becomes your family. I was getting ready actually to put a little thought process into the chat group. And I was gonna tell everybody, ain't nothing wrong, man. I just appreciate what we did in Orlando, and just how we've been together all these years. Like I said, nothing wrong. I just feel that inside me today. I need to express that.
There you go.
You
There you
know,
go.
but you could also expound on how I was hating on Derek Mayo for about 30 years though. So.
Okay, I was not going to bring that up.
I
don't even know if I told you, D. So he thought you did something, and I kept telling him, I was like, Mayo did not. Oh, it was the fight. It was the fight. It was the fight. Right. That's what it was. So I wish Tia was on, because that's what Tia was talking about. But she choked the dude out. So he thought that Mayo instigated the whole thing, and I was like,
and I wasn't even there.
Wait, you was there for the chokeout?
I wasn't even there.
You was there for the chokeout, for the throat punch.
Right.
Look,
so
listen to you. Go ahead, T. Go tell the story.
Party down for it's a New Year's party, man. New Year's Eve party. We down with these cats in neighbor London or whatever. We got our crew about 8-9 deep. And so, Lee knows everybody, man. My man Derek Mayo invited me to a party. All right, it's Derek Mayo. I had never even met Derek Mayo. So, he goes off the deep end and choking this cat, and we about to have a big showdown. All these Navy cats we know. And I'm like, man, and we got kicked out. I'm like, man, bump Derek Mayo. And from that time, right? So from 2 years of 92 to 93, I ain't like Derek Mayo to the Captain Jazz Festival about 4 years ago.
And what's funny is that I probably left with a girl earlier. I don't even remember the fight. I wasn't even there for the fight.
That's the most annoying thing about it. But he was helping. In his mind, it was all you, son. You was the mastermind. It's bullshit. I'm like, T. And he like, man, fuck that shit. And look, this is my brother. I'm like, I love you to death. I got room, my brother. Like, okay, I'm just gonna let it ride, because I knew eventually I would get to him and he would actually listen. So he called me out the blue one day. He said, "You know what?" I said, "What's up?" He said, "That wasn't Mayo." I said, "I've been telling you."
See, that's the power right there. That's that power. You know what? I did some thinking, and you know what? You might be right. I'm holding on to some shit that ain't even real.
Hold on.
So let me tell you, when you was talking, Barry, about the difference between male and female bonding, eventually men they do an assessment and say that shit wasn't real. Let me go back and fix that. Women be like, oh, that might not have been real, but I'm not going back. They'll never know I got that shit wrong. So it's the face saving part, right?
Well, it depends. So here's the deal. Now, I don't do this Zodiac stuff, but my partner in Atlanta been on the Zodiac kick for the longest time. So I'll tell you right here. So I'm a Scorpio, and I'm right, and I'm an only child. So when
bad business.
Yeah, double whammy, right?
Yeah, when I cut you off, you cut off. So what we have to tell Lee is, hey man, when we have these family outings, don't be inviting people that ain't the crew, right? Now we got a couple cats that can show up that get along with everybody. It'll be okay. Like OG Bobby Gammons, he was services, but OG Bobby Gammons can come on day and night. And so Lee got this thing where he wanted everybody to get along, the Kumbaya cat, and it don't work like that sometimes. I was like, hey man, we didn't like them cats. This is me. I ain't like them cats in 92. I don't like them cats now. I have not been a part of this live. They ain't been a part of mine. I mean, I got no animosity to them, but they weren't my crew back then. And a couple cats we met, and we vibe. I see them. Hey man, what's up, bro? We gonna get a handshake, house and depth. We might get a drink, but we gonna keep it pushing. That's just how I am. Like I said, only child, Scorpio, and I don't dwell on people. I mean, you don't should be holding on to. Don't dwell. I don't dwell on it. But when I see you, all that shit you did comes back to me. If I couldn't trust you then, and we've all grown, matured and stuff happened, which, I'm going to pat myself on the back for Derek Mayo, because Lee was like, yeah, man, Bump, don't talk to me about no damn Derek. What's it, man? Bump Kane, talk to me about no Kane. So, but when I met him, I was like, man, I was my bad. Oh. And like you said, man, I remember your man, like you said, he had no idea. He didn't think about none of that crap. I'm walking around for no reason.
For years. You know what I mean? But you know, the point of all of this is, to your point, Terry, what was on your heart today was, it is a beautiful situation to be in a situation where you got people in your life that have been in your life by their choosing for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And that has not brought any drama at all to you, nor have you brought any to them.
Right.
You have people in your life where, you know, push come to shove, and it really don't even be push come to shove. If you're in the neighborhood, you got a home to dwell in. Mayo tells me all the time, son, you in VA, you already know. You know, wifey already know. This is not a conversation. She already know. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful for her to accept that. You know what I mean? It's beautiful when the kids, and this has been my push. My push has always been, I want the kids to know us and to know one another, because we very well may be all they got. You know what I'm saying? So let's make sure that they know one another. They see one another. They see these positive attitudes toward males, females, that when you see folk get together, they ain't chasing after one. Ain't nobody lusting after one another. We're all genuinely together to be together. We're laughing together. We're eating together. We're sharing responsibilities in whatever area we may be in. We had Silos bring his son through last time. And even though things might have gone this way, another way, um, Maine, he brought his daughter through last go around. So she got to see how her father interacts with his friends, and that was all positive. You dig where I'm coming from? Sharon came through this time with her kids. They got to see how folk act amongst one another. And, you know, Silos went out and he bought all the groceries. We turned around. We made sure he got his bread back. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of stuff that I want children to see and be a part of, so they understand this is not normal. This is normal. You can make your life into this, and you should want to have people around you to help you make and keep your life into this. You should not have people around you that are bringing drama, are wanting to bring drama, or trying to slow you up and slow you down and take away from you. But yeah, that's that. You know what I mean? OG said, I remember when I first saw Timo, I was like, who we think he is? So Timo like the professor. He you know, hey, motherfucker, we gonna do this over here. What you need, motherfucker, do this shit right here. That's the deal you need. You know, that's Timo. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, Marlon. You know, again, bro, that's what I want, man.
Don't worry, Timo. That's classic Scorpio energy. Every time we come in the room, people be like, "What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I had no idea because I didn't do the zodiac stuff. I was like, man, that shit ain't real. What you talking about? But now when I read it, I was like, ooh, that's me.
Yeah.
So, but no, that was my that was my third assignment. So looking at what I thought all those young kids with younger cats, I got more experience. So I'm gonna tell them how I go, and I'll take over the room if you let me. But getting back to how we never argue, I think what it is we give each other a buffer of space and grace to make a mistake or decide something that don't work out, and we're gonna clown you about it if it don't work out, right? So we might not have the same thought, but like Lee want to do something. Oh, man, yo, let's go get some vegan food. I don't want no vegan food. I'm from the country, bro. I need some pig. Y'all don't eat pork, son. All right. So we're gonna go to both places, you know. And if it's gonna take us 30 miles out the way, we in for the ride. But all right, dog. I think that make enough space for each other to do whatever you need to do, and it don't bother you. Cause I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like what's the real hurt? You know, like Kelly, son, when you come up to Baltimore, you know, get with these crab cakes, man. I don't even like crab cakes, man. That's what I do. But I come
You
to
just learned me my lesson today. It's the room for individual expression with
yeah,
enough space and grace for you to still go along with it.
right.
Because I can guarantee you, women do not have that. You can express yourself as much as you want to, but I do not have to go along. And it's y'all's willingness
Yeah.
to share that time journey, even if it's not going to benefit you individually
Yes.
in the end. And I thank you for that lesson, Brother Timo.
You're welcome. And you know, let me carry on that. Like the whole, even being down in Orlando the other week, there was not one serious disagreement the entire time. The closer we got to a disagreement was I drove to Starbucks and people started calling up and saying what they want. I was like, I ain't ordering nothing because you should have asked me before I got. So tell Milton, tell Tanya, I'm not going to be some saying. I'm not doing you up to this. I don't do that. And but then again, that's on me. And I had Lee call, hey son, what? Man, bring me back a chai latte. Man, you get on my nerves, but I'm gonna get it. But I all the way back. So he gonna hear some words about it, but he gonna get it, and then we gonna laugh about it.
Yeah,
yeah. It's you know what? It is love, is what it is. Love.
Pure D, absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Again, we get a lot of crap on social media all the time. A lot. The drama, the fights, the fussing, the discussions about shit that don't mean nothing. Crossing 50. Let me tell y'all young bucks something, man. None of that shit y'all talking about mean nothing. This right here, this is what it's about. This is what it's about when you can literally pick up that phone and be like, son, I'm coming through. I got some bread, but maybe a little funny. Can I crash at the crib? Why is you asking me that? Why are you even asking me that? That's not even a question. That's not a question you ever need to ask. You know, son, are you renting a car? Yes, you're not renting a car no more. Cancel that shit. I'll give you one of the cars. You know what I'm saying? You got the crib, you got the car. What else you need? No, son, I'm good. No, you ain't. And don't tell me you good shit. I ain't trying to hear it. What do you need? No, son, I'm good. Son, you are not good. What do you need? I mean, you know, all right, got you. No, say less. You got it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, to your point, Rashi, earlier, he was like talking about money that didn't get paid back. And I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we understand it's going to come back. I'll speak directly to Mayo. I am the absolute worst buying my tickets for the Capital Jazz Fest. He knows this. Why? Because he normally buys my tickets every fucking year. Every year, he normally buys my tickets.
I'm passing to him through the fence. Here you go.
Right. He was like, son, don't forget the tickets. I ain't gonna forget, son. I'm all over it. 100%. I got it. And it's not a money thing. It really is. I'd be like, oh shit, I forgot to get the tickets. But 9 times out of 10, I already got the tickets, son. All right, no problem. Let me sell you. Let me cash app you. And we good. Because he know he got the money. That's not going to be a problem. Even if he buys tickets and I bought tickets, we can just sell the tickets. That's not a problem. But he going to buy me tickets 9 times out of 10 because he knows I'm just the worst.
Right. And he can count on you, right, to take care of yourself. He know that he's not supporting you. No, he's not doing something for you that you would not have done for yourself. I think that's when I think this is where women get caught up. Not to keep comparing us to them, because I'm loving the conversation. It's because we have kind of a transactional relationship when women do this for that. It ain't no guarantee, right, that you can just rest on your sister in the way you all are describing. And so I think that's a part of our issue too, that we don't just automatically lean. It looks like we didn't prepare for our own reality to us. But you all are, like I said, there's that grace. There's that unspoken safety net of grace where you can just kind of take care of each other and expect to be compensated or not compensated. Whoever cares? Who cares, right?
Yeah, we don't count.
We know it's going to come back.
Right. We don't. Yeah. You know, it's whatever. We don't count. Now, if it gets outrageous, that's the difference. But you know, Lee and I have traded money for shit since 1992. Hey son, let me get like $100. All right, let me get 100. Can you get? Hey son, I need a little something. Get you. And then the hardest thing to do really is if you need like a substantial sum of money is to ask. So just like that scene in that Best Man, hey man, do you need some money, man? Boy, I'm gonna tell you, man. Lee called me one time. He was like, "Do you need some money, man?" I was like, just like your boy, I was like, "Yeah, I need some money, man." It never mentioned, right? You got his get back or whatever. But for people to know you enough to know when you hurt and you need something, because a lot of things with us, man, we will not ask. I hold on to some stuff and just suffer the consequences before you ask. But we have a beautiful community that we can ask. Like I haven't seen Triple OG since last time I was in Tampa. Here's what I know: when I come to Atlanta, I'm gonna let them know when I'm coming. And I don't have to stay with them about, hey man, can I? You have to ask, can I crash? Hey son, you want to crash? Got it. Hadn't seen this cat. It's been at least. Daryl had retired. So,
oh Lord,
was I still on the floor? I was up like 2016 or whatever. I hadn't seen him about 10 years.
Yeah.
And hadn't laid eyes on Triple OG. But I know when I get to the ATL or even Lee's spot, you good. So it's that part. Yeah, you don't ask. I mean, you don't. It's just understanding, and that's been built over those 30+ years that we had a really really good group of guys. Now I had 11 assignments in my 26 years, so I mean I got a group for 11 bases, and the only group that I kick it with is the England group. Now it's good guys in every group that I got, but we don't roll like that. And then I keep everybody separate. So this group may not mesh with my Kadena group in Okinawa. You know, it's different cats. But it crosses over because Lee is really good friends with a dude I grew up with, Orenthal James Simpson. So when Lee hit Montgomery, he called up Simpson, and it's just because Lee is my boy. Not
Who?
right? Same thing with Mayo. So now that if I come through Virginia, I got a problem. Hey man, what's there Mayo at? Give me his number, dog. Hey man, got a flat tire. We got you, Timo. Hey, Timo gonna crash. His wife don't know me. Who's this Timo guy? That's Lee's boy. He's straight. Ain't gonna be no problem. Hey, go your blanket, pillow on the couch, whatever. You good to go. And, you know, and that's around your children with some guy who's virtually a stranger, but because of the connection we have with each other through Lee and through me, and you know that's your man's man, and you vouch for him. There's no investigation. You know, Triple O say, hey man, I got somebody up that I need you, to go pick him up from the museum, Timo. Hey, pick her and her family. Got it. If I got to rent an SUV to get a family of 5 or 6, I got you, man. That's that trust and love that we built over all those years, and it's rare. It's rare, so it's not like all men do this. It is rare.
I want to say this too. I think women have too many stipulations and everything, and men, as he said, men give space for other men to be themselves. That's how the friendship typically works.
Yep.
Is you let your people in your circle be yourselves. You can't control your friends.
Right.
When you start controlling people, you probably ain't gonna like the person that they'll become once you start controlling them. And it's harder to have that. I know with my brothers, especially, and I learned this from back home. If you were in my neighborhood, you ain't got to call. You can knock on the door. I'm good with that. But I hear plenty of women who complain about their friends just showing up to their house unannounced. But if your friend is in your neighborhood or your loved one is in your neighborhood, if they're around the corner, do they really have to call to knock on your door? Like literally, you ain't doing shit but sitting your ass on Facebook anyway. I mean, like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna disturb you in the middle of scrolling on somebody's reel. Like, it's the stipulation piece that is a consistent. And I'm gonna tell you, that not only ruins your relationship with your friends, but it probably ruins your intimate relationship with men as well. And when I say this to women all the time, they say, why men cheat? Because a side chick ain't got no red lights. That's what that is. Why do men constantly stay with the friends that they have? Because probably there is no red lights. You putting up all of these red lights and you wonder why nobody want to be bothered with your ass. It's because you got too much stipulations. And the fact of the matter is the people that you get the stipulations from, they don't believe in that shit. So you know, this is how men kind of operate. We want our friends to be our friends. We don't want our friends to be our pets. I don't need you to go sit in the corner because I feel like you need to sit in the corner. And I want to be able to feel like, yo, if you need me, I got you, right? I don't need you to even think twice about me. I got your back. If something's going down with my homeboys, I don't give a damn if it's jail or hell I'm facing. I'm not thinking about jail or hell. I'm thinking about saving my friend. I'm thinking about keeping my people straight, whatever the situation may be. When I hear sisters, y'all always got the scale going. What am I gonna get out of it? Really, that's what it be. What am I gonna get out of it? What do I gotta do?
Right.
And
It's
what am I?
transactional. That's what I was trying to mention. There has to be a net gain, or at least an even trade, or else women feel. And I'm speaking as one, and I'm just explaining what happened. There is this idea, this mantra that there's a sum zero. If the more you give, the less you have. It doesn't feel reciprocal. And so if you don't receive for your gift of whatever it is, time, finances, sexual attention, intellectual property, it feels like we lost because we didn't receive what we feel like we gave. And what I'm hearing from y'all is the you it no that's not, it's not a part of that reality. The transaction is, if whether it feels cyclical, whether it actually is or not, like whether the transaction is A plus B, the transaction is the cycle. It is the motivational force, not I, I'm not doing a really great job
No,
of
no,
explaining it, but
No,
it's
Well,
not a transaction.
right,
It's just
right.
an action. All we're doing is acting because we understand it may not come back to me in this moment, but
It,
it will
it'll
come
come
back
back.
to me.
And,
You know
and
what I'm saying? So if you're down right now, I don't need to continue to put you down. I need you to get back up.
yeah,
And once you're back up, I understand because we are friends, we are family, we are connected, that you will look out for me. And I don't have to ask you for that. I should never have to ask you for that. It will come back organically. You know what I'm saying? Again, if because I'll go back again, back to Mayo. So Mayo and I have gone to London to get shit 3 4 times, something like that.
it's about 3 or 4 times.
We've
Yeah.
met there. Yeah, we've met there. There's been some type of connect we've had back in London, right? So if Moxie, perfect example, the Moxie. So he goes, "Yo, we're gonna stay at the Moxie," and I'm like, "I ain't never heard of the fucking Moxie." He's like, "Don't worry about it. Don't we gonna stay at the Moxie?" So we stay at the Moxie. It's all good, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yo, how much it cost?" He goes to me like, "What do you mean? Well, how much does it cost?" Again, what do you mean?
what you asking for?
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Now, the rest of the time we're out though, I'm gonna make sure he eats. He ain't got to dip in his pocket to eat. You know what I'm saying? What's up, T?
Let me jump in. That oh man, let me tell you how perfect this is. Right, this is friendship versus your blood and your family. So I got a half brother, he's 2 years older than me. Love them like blood brother. Right. I'm stationed out in Panama. This is how I say there's no record keeping. We go back and forth. So I called my brother. Hey man, I'm in Panama. Can you come down here and kick with me for a week? I want you to see it. First question: are you gonna get my plane ticket?
Huh?
Known that since I was 9 years old, man. He was 11, 9. We like Brown and G Money. You know, he played football. I'm playing football. He wear number 33. I'm wearing number 33. And that's the craziest you get. So if I invite my brother, which I know you don't have, I ain't saying he don't have the means. I know you never been anywhere. You're not a military cat, right? So you
Right.
better come out of my house. I got a 4-bedroom with a roommate in Panama. I got the Japanese ride. We're gonna go down here and drink these rum drinks. We're gonna look at these women. We're gonna smoke these Cuban cigars with the CIA cats who ain't supposed to be smoking either, but we in the cigar bar on Saturday with them. Just show my brother something that you know that cat did not make it. And I'm like, man, I want to show you something different. You know, and so my man in Atlanta, I grew up with my best friend from 3rd grade. This cat was going home to Georgia on the back roads, had a flat tire, had to change his tire. He got some size on him, and his back hurt. So he called us, oh man, that's messed up, bro. So we called his blood brother, who I think they slept in the bed together. They were about 11 to 12 years old, right? Like, man, hurt my back, man. You know, change the tire. His brother came to help. He was like, man, what you telling me for? You know, you ain't changed my tire, you changed your tire. And I was like, that's crazy. I said, let's try something. Let's call my stepbrother. So my best friend, we called my stepbrother, added to the call. So Tim, tell him what happened. Yeah, man, I was changing my tire, man. It hurt my back. Now, my brother, which has no relations to my best friend, was like, hey, yeah, man, you got to take care of yourself when you're doing that stuff. Showing empathy. But his blood brother he grew up with, same mom and pop, it just mushed him in the face, right? Crazy with relationships. And so what we do is once we tell each other as men that we love you, we sincerely mean that stuff. Because like I said, only child, that's my stepbrother, I had brother, but in the house, I had no brothers and sisters. Like my youngest uncle was 5 years older than me. So when that cat hit 13, learned about the teen center, I'm at home from 8 till I learned about the teen center on Friday night, Saturday night by myself. So when you get that, and that's why there's no record keeping, right? So Lee can come through here and crash on the couch anytime you feel like it. Ain't no problem. Go to the refrigerator, grab the juice.
Yeah, say it again, Brother T. No record keeping.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said, Barry? Now that hit my head like a no. There is no record keeping. I watched her kids.
Yeah.
She watched my kid. I gave her some food. There is no record. It's just ever spinning.
We do.
But that's what men listen.
Yeah.
When I'm around people who keep records, I'm not around them long.
No, not at all.
I'm not around them long because I know at the end of the day, you know what? You know how the debate goes? You're counting what you've done for me. I ain't kept count. So since I ain't kept count, you gonna win the argument because really I don't even think about it like that. And when you see people be like, oh, they got a whole ledger. I'll give you guys a good example. When I first moved to Minnesota, I used to hang out with this brother, man. And he was an older cat. We met him at the park or whatever the case, and he would always ask us to go places with him because he couldn't really find people his age who wanted to hang out with him. But he would ask us, and if we would say, hey, man, I really ain't got no money to go to the mall, hey, no problem. I got you. So when you would go, you'd be at the little food court, eating your food or whatever the case. This man is telling you what he done gave you to get on the bus and what he done paid for the food and letting you know that you owe him this. Right? But he's begging, he's calling us up for us to hang with him. We ain't calling him up to hang. And so when brothers got a chance to get on their feet and start having stuff, guess who brothers wasn't trying to hang out with?
Him.
Because at the end of the day, if me and Larry going somewhere, my cousin Larry, we going somewhere, and Larry ain't got it, and I got it, I'm not keeping track. There is no IOUs.
Nope.
Whatever it costs to get us where we're going, and to get us back, don't sweat it. Whatever, and the same with him. You know, like if I ain't got something and you got it, hey man, listen, you want to go hoop? Hey, you ain't got no shoes? Hey man, take these shoes right here, take these shorts right here. That's what we used to do. And listen, you ain't gotta, hey, listen, bro. If you ain't good, I'm gonna get you back. People come home from jail all the time, that's family. That's the funniest part about black people, right? Somebody who's hanging out with you 24/7, that's got your back, that's gonna be down for you. You ain't keeping score. Somebody get out of jail, man. We want to throw them a welcome home party. We're gonna make sure that we put money in their pocket, bruh. That nigga gonna go back to jail. He ain't thinking about you whatsoever.
Yeah.
2 weeks, 2 months. He gone one way or another.
He ain't thinking about you whatsoever. And we'll put an investment in him, but the people that's investing in you or the people that you know got your back, you got a nerve to be tracking what they owe you or how many times that you. It's just a bad sense. And I know folks be thinking that that's somehow logical, but I'll say it again. Those are typically the people who are always by themselves. It's not people being phony and fake with them. It's just that there is that transactional stuff. When you're a transactional person, then that's how people gonna treat you. Okay, well, what do you got for me now? And I don't even value, you may value that high of what you think you bring to the table. Since you're so transactional, I don't value you the way you value you. So I'm good on that. You stay on over there.
It's crazy, man. I've been up here in D.C., the DMV area. What am I on? 11 years leave. I had 2014. Yeah. I got what I would call one friend, right? That's the only cat can get me out the house, come kick it with him. We downtown, whatever it is, day parties, whatever. Him. And we ain't seen each other probably about 3 or 4 months. But we make the call, hey man, let's go out and smoke a cigar. We do that. But the rest of these cats here are so fake and phony, and you see it. So, like I teach my kids, hey y'all, when you out, you in school, you doing your stuff, go where you are celebrated and not tolerated. So when these kids going to these happy hour spots, if they don't say, hey, Timo, you want to roll with us? Nah, if you don't say it, I'm not going to invite myself. I'm cool. I can have my own fun. So I'm a very compartmentalized guy, and I'm gonna put you in that box over there, right? But like I said, if JD called, he called, hey man, why don't you come out to the cigar bar? We down here hanging out, having a couple of drinks. Hey, I'm gonna shower, throw some clothes, swing, hang out at the cigar bar. That's gonna turn to 3, 4 in the morning, and we do that every once in a while because we're older now, right? So for that, and that's why because Lee and I got really almost the same personality. We love being around people.
Hey Lee. It's funny we talking friendship because a friendship about to break the whole nation. Have you heard?
No.
Whatever.
You ain't heard about y'all's first lady and her friendship?
No.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't heard?
You funny. You funny.
Let's wrap this up in about 10 minutes and then we'll get into that. I want to say two things. Well, first thing I have one statement. Then I want to let Mayo say something because he's been pretty quiet. I don't want to waste the man's time. He's been up since early in the morning. I know he probably tired, so let's get him and have some stories to tell. You said something about O.J. Simpson. So we give everybody a nickname. And
thank you, Jesus, because I thought I was gonna have to rewind the show. It's not Orenthal for real.
No. That's we everybody got a nickname. It's the military. That's what we do.
His last name.
Anyhow, so I'm at Terry's retirement in Fort Walton, Florida. Sitting down, I come in. I flew in Atlanta, drove straight down to him, and I was circling back to go to Montgomery. I wanted to go see the kids at the time. And OJ's there. We talking shit like we normally do, playing spades. So he overhears them going back to the gun. He said, man, what you know about the gun? I said, oh, man, I was at Maxwell from 94 to 97. All three of my kids are from there. I'm just trying to spend some time with them for the weekend. By the way. He said, okay, cool. So, we just, yeah. A little while later, I'm about to go. He says, hey, hold on for a second. I said, what's up? He said, where you staying at? I said, well, shit, I usually get the same hotel. It's right off Carmichael and the Boulevard. He's like, yeah, I know where you at. Yeah. But hold on for a second. I said, what's up, man? He said, man, you can stay at my house. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. No problem. So he gets my number. He texts me the address. And I was like, all right, well, I'll kill some time for you to get to the crib. He's like, man, I ain't going home. He's like, well, how the hell am I get in your house if you ain't going home? Yo, man, I'm going to tell you the code to get in. I'm like, all right, so, but I'll see you tomorrow. He said, but I ain't going home the whole weekend. I said, oh, shit, yo, you give me your house for the whole weekend? He goes, yeah, I just met this dude. This is the very first time I ever put eyes on this guy. He gave me his entire house, his passcode, the code to the Wi-Fi, that's Wi-Fi for us Americans, you know what I'm saying? And everything. It was like a 2-hour freaking span for me meeting this guy. Why? Because that's the man's of my man's. That's what we do. It wasn't no questions. When I left that man's house, I left his house like I left everybody's house. I made sure it was clean. I made sure it was tidy. I stripped the bed, everything. I put the clothes in the wash machine, sent them a text, like, yo, thanks for everything. Clothes in the wash machine, towels, all that shit is in there. I didn't start it because I didn't know if you wanted to make a full load or not, but I appreciate everything. I didn't eat anything in the house. I didn't drink anything. I bought everything. So I left some additional water. I left some juice. Like, what was it? That's the least I could do. The man just gave me a fucking house for free. That's the least I could do is put some damn water and juice in the damn crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I just wanted to, put that out there. Like, this is what we got going on. And this is 30 plus years. And to this day, if I go to Montgomery, that dude like, yo, you need to stay at the house? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You sure? Yeah. All right. Just wanted to ask. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Mayo, what you got, bro?
I guess I can kind of relate in both of these Hayford stories, especially first time you all invited me up there to Hayford for a barbecue. So I drive from London, go up to Hayford, and the barbecue going in the dorm. So every room has something. One room had the ribs, the other one had the corn, the other one had, so I'm just going down the hall, but everybody there just treated me like I was family. Meet me from day one. I even left up there with a lamp because I was like, yo, I got a lamp like that. And he said, you want to make it a set? Here you go. You know, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was like that.
That was him.
I was going to walk around with the lamp. Yeah. So, and then so another time up at Hayford, I don't know if you knew this brother named Jimmy Gaffney. He was an electrician up there. And he used to come down to London to work on our alarms. And, you know, they used to give him TDYs because our post office used to set the alarm off on purpose so he can get a TDY down to London and hang out for the weekend and go back. So, yes. So I was up there at Hayford, just met the brother. And just like what you said before, I just met this brother, Jimmy. I was like, he's like, hey, where you at? Next thing you know, I got the keys to the house. And, you know, me and his little daughter, I met his daughter, met everything, went out, came back in, and was love. So I think, I'm not sure if it was just a Hayford thing, because there was a special group of brothers there, men that was there. And like I said, I was new to the military. And where I was at in London, it was a small British base with just 2 buildings. So it was great being in the location, but I didn't have that really military community as you all had at Hayford. And I was glad I was able to be a part of that and be able to meet brothers like you all, because, you know, I wasn't experiencing that down there, but that brotherhood that came from that and then on now, it's kind of helped shape my life and me, who I am now, and how when I do meet real brothers and you know, able to not have that, as we say, non-transactional friendship and always looking out. And I'm in with one more story. As I said, I retired from the airport. And there's this one brother named Harry. You met Harry Blair, my boy Harry.
Shouts out to my man, Harry, Mr. Moet himself, baby. He gonna come through two-fisted with the Moet, baby, all the time.
We pop bottles a lot together. Yeah. I got the headphones on, so we good. So anyway, it was just one of those. It was just one of those times I was going over to see my twins. It was a little contentional because I was just, you know, dealing with my ex and it was a little low. So that brother, because, you know, we're blessed with flights. He literally left on a Friday night, landed Saturday morning, was there with me to make sure I was good that whole Saturday. We hung out. We did our thing. I put him back on the plane on Sunday and I went to drive to see my kids.
Sunday morning. Y'all hear that?
Sunday morning.
That brother flew into London from the United States on Friday, lands Saturday, party all Saturday. His ass was on the flight first thing Sunday morning to get back. That shit was crazy. I was like, yo, that is the dude. That is the dude.
And the unbeknownst thing of why he did it was more support for me because, you know, I was kind of struggling, dealing with the visitation, dealing with my ex, and he just picked up my spirits just for that day to give me enough energy to deal with my ex and to deal with, you know, the disappointment that may or may not happen of a visit for my twins. So it's brothers like you all and like him and that I've been blessed to be able to have as family and friends. And like you said, it's never a tally or whatever, you know, it always evens out in the end.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. Look, man, thank y'all. I from the bottom of my heart and my spirit, I'm so appreciative to have all of you in my life, without a doubt. You know, as I said earlier, I have learned so much and not always in the moment, but those lessons have come to fruition later on, sitting back like, oh shit, this is what they were talking about. This is what they meant. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely been. Why are you laughing, T?
I'm laughing because I'm the petty one. So Derek Mayo, here's what happened, right? So let me go ahead and do it. You are invited to all of the hateful stuff that comes up. Here's how it goes down, right? Lee always wants to surprise people. So he's yo son, where we going? We gonna go? We doing New Orleans again this year? Whatever, okay. And I be like, hey Lee. So me and Abasi, we like, hey Lee, don't if they ain't crew, don't bring them. So how I go down? I was like, hey man, Lee, well I want to bring Derek Mayo. So they're gonna ask me because I'm the petty one in the group. Yeah,
petty as hell.
Yeah, like, hey son, what you think about Derek? Derek, man, we look, I love Derek. You can come, man. So you invited to a homo if you want to show up to the. You can't bring no drama. They had drama in New Orleans, and but yeah, so,
that was unfortunate, and that was crew too. So that was really unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
that was hard.
It was a whole lot to that. We don't need to get into that.
Right, you live and learn, right?
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
we probably gonna follow up with that later on because you know maybe he was something going on with an alcohol thing that we don't know about, right?
Yeah,
because that's our character, right? So we all, like I said, there's ebbs and flows. We're up and down. So, but yeah, Derek Mill, man, you invited, bro. So, and I didn't know y'all was young cats like that because I just knew Derek Mill from London. He was down there balling. We stuck with him, and we don't got.
So okay, so you laughing, but there was a huge money difference where he was at versus where we were at. Exactly. Even though we all got COLA, which means cost of living allowance, that cost of living allowance in London was.
Yeah, and then I talked my way into base house, and I had a 4-bedroom house to myself, and all that. Yeah, there was no dorms. It wasn't up to our Air Force standards.
So now, hey, now I feel, hey, you might want to be quiet because now I'm going back on the haterade side of the house. but the boy said, we down here living in an effing hovel. Paul, I'm like, we live in hovels. You got a 4-bedroom as a young enlisted cat. We even have a kitchen.
It's an A1C. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
but y'all cats had it so good. Hey, remember when we went to Tia house and she had the freaking appliances built in? We was like, what the hell? This was the 90s and appliances were built into the fucking wall. You couldn't tell where her refrigerator was. You couldn't tell where her dishwasher was. It was all built into the wall. And if you didn't know it was there, you didn't know. It was crazy. It was crazy. Look, man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for putting up with me. Yeah, Marlon, I missed that damn cola too. We all could use some damn cola right about now. Like your bullshit, like your bull.
Oh yeah.
That cost of living allowance was lovely. You know what I'm saying?
My guess is 485 on base, son.
Ooh, 485
on base.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up on my little bit of gas down here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But again, thank you all for your time this morning. Thank you all for putting up with me. We appreciate having you. I know that we all learned a little something today from the discussion. Much love to you both, man. We got to get back. We got to get to the rest of the show. Y'all be good.
All right.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Hey, man, good meeting y'all brothers, by the way, man. Y'all stay blessed and stay strong.
Y'all too, man.
You too, man.
All right, 2 fingers.
Yep.
Peace. All right. So, yeah, man, this was all Rodney's idea, to be honest with you. And his ass probably asleep right about now, so he gonna be mad that he missed this one. But it is what it is, and we're going to continue forward to the rest of what we had going on. We talking about gas prices. So there has been a pause in action. Okay, we'll talk about the watch too.
No, I'm just showing out the hoodies for anybody who want to get one. Hit me up, get a hoodie.
Thank you, Marlon. I appreciate that. There's a pause in action in Iran right now. The president has called for a stand down of strikes against Iran, hoping that the Strait of Hormuz would open up. We have yet to really see that. The Iranians have been very particular and specific in whom they have allowed to traverse the strait. They are also talking about adding a tax to anyone who wants to go through the strait. The most critical thing about this, though, right now, the American dollar is the currency used to traverse the strait. There has been talks of replacing the American dollar with the Chinese yen. That is going to be a problem for America long term if it happens.
Yuan.
I'm sorry.
Yuan.
Won is Korean. Pretty sure it's okay. Whatever the Chinese currency is. And if I misspoke, I apologize, Rashi. If you, I trust you being correct on that one. But anyhow, the American dollar has been propped up because of that dominance. If it's taken out, there's no real bottom for us at that point. Like that's a problem. That's a huge problem. The fact that all the intelligence pointed to this being the play of the Iranians and the president still taking us to war is a problem. The fact that there's even greater discussion about the 25th Amendment is a problem. Do you really want J.D. Vance as the president? How much better could it be? Could it very well be worse? Uh, we are in a pickle. I'm trying to figure out words how to put this one, to be honest with you, because we're in a freaking pickle.
What can I
This,
share some information with you?
shoot.
So what we're talking, let's talk exchange, all right? If you're talking about someone backing a financial currency, backing an economy based on what their, GDP is based upon, you want to look at someone who has over. Thomas, talk to me. Definitely, their dollar got to be worth more than what their one has to be worth more than what 85, 90. I mean, it's hard to get one to one. It's hard as hell to get one to one. I don't know if anybody here knows economics, but you can say a dollar is one, right? But that does not necessarily mean that your gross domestic product and that your economy is supporting you having that one. And if anything happens in your economy, like a pandemic, like or some kind of civil unrest, faulty political behavior, your one becomes fractionalized and it gets lower and lower and lower. Okay, so then you get to comparing your dollar to other nations. And when you compare the United States the United States, sorry, let me say this better. When you compare the Chinese yuan to the United States dollar, the Chinese yuan is one. The United States dollar is 15.15. Okay, not even zero point 0.5 nothing. So what they're attempting to do is just back it by something that's stronger than what we say we have. Because when you compare us to even the British pound, honestly, when you compare the American dollar to the British pound, don't anybody say shit about the Saudis. You know better than to compare the United States dollar to a Saudi half penny. I don't care. So when you compare our economy to other economies, what they're saying is we are not the safe bet anymore. Our political structure is in too much flux, and since we have shifted from go to they call it the petrodollar now, but I just call it the trading dollar. We backed our money since we stopped making, right? We stopped manufacturing because it's cheaper to do it overseas. There's already proof of that. We backed our money on our ability to trade with each other, with other nations, but we're trading so poorly and we're doing so poorly that the dollar is dwindling. So the rest of the nations are saying Chinese yuan is just smarter, safer. And we cannot refute that. Statistics, economic statistics are what they are. So,
I want to give one brief counter. The dollar is still stronger than the Chinese yuan. I think you had that inverted. The yuan is roughly 0.15 to the U.S. dollar. Just so we were clear.
So can I say this though? All of that shit's made up.
Oh yeah.
All that shit's made up. And it's just to the victor goes the spoils. Because you could print as many dollar bills as you want. What really backs it? We don't have a gold standard. We don't have a silver standard. Kennedy got killed for trying to actually create the gold standard so that he can divorce us from the world banks or, from our banking system here in the United States. The same thing that got Lincoln killed with the greenbacks. So I say all that to say, when it comes to the economy, man, listen, they could say monopoly money is worth something today, and that's what it's going to be. Cryptocurrency ain't shit but a bunch of, it ain't nothing but money laundering. That's all it is. It's a good way for criminals to do Western aims, and, Americans have a love affair with criminals. That's just what that is. So anything the criminals do, Americans want to do it too. It's embedded in the psychology of most of the people in this country. Another thing real quick is that I can't be upset with the Iranians based off of how they're moving, because the fact of the matter is is that when you are in negotiations for ceasefires and people are still firing on you, when you have negotiations and people have backdoored you during the negotiations, and we're talking about the same conflict, it's going to be hard for me to trust anything you say first. You're going to have to stop everything first before I do anything, because I'm not going to give you your way. And I think that that's something that I'll say it again about some of the crazy stuff that we intellectualize in the United States. We intellectualize a lot of wrongdoing on this president's part, and that we should not. And I said the last thing, but here's the last thing for you. There was a segment on Morning Joe last week, and I posted it on my page, and I will suggest anybody go check it out. They were talking about the president of Hungary. Now, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to JD Vance going over to Hungary, but go look at Hungary. Everything that Trump is trying to pull in the United States now is what the president of Hungary has pulled over there. The suppression of the press, the manipulation of the dollar, the manipulation of the resources, the manipulation or the suppression of the labor force. All of those things that Trump is trying to do, the suppression of votes. And here's the kicker. The CIA intercepted a wire from the Russians to the Hungarian president, who's trying to win because he's unpopular in this country right now. Even though he suppressed their democracy, he's very unfavorable. They told him to fake an assassination attempt to get the numbers up. I'll ask the question to all somebody else. Where did you hear that before? And
remind you of somebody else?
The guy who just retired from Kent, who retired from Trump, Friday, Joe Scarborough quoted him as saying that he believed that Trump did fake his assassination attempt so that he could win the presidency. So I'll ask you guys once again, why do we in this country put ourselves in this intellectual masturbation when we know all this shit is rigged anyway, and we just need to call it what it is? This is Kabuki theater.
The Kabuki theater. I knew it was coming. Okay, so so you're right though, and for too long, I have wondered. I don't know if I said publicly, but how is it that twice this man allegedly was trying? There was an attempted assassination on this man's life. Ain't nobody been assassinated since fucking Kennedy, but all of a sudden, twice. Okay, I lied because I said 2 weeks ago. I think I said this, and I was like, the last time, if you want to count when Reagan was shot. Notice the face on that one, right? But anyhow, but again, that's been 40 freaking years. Now all of a sudden, everybody trying to shoot the president or presidential candidate.
It's worse than shooting them. It's worse than shooting them. We coming for his. We finna Joe Biden them. You know how you get your own name for how you treat somebody? It's a syndrome, what they call it. Like when you lay down on the floor and you eat a cheeseburger, you Hasselhoff. Anyway, he finna be Joe Biden. They finna call for his cognition because they got the votes to run him down and ask him.
Okay, stop. Who's they? Who's they?
There's
congressional.
There is a they. There's several Congress members who are calling for him to be. His cognition is under question. They're pulling on the 25th Amendment, and there is voting backing for him to have to go to the doctor, and they run the what do you see when you see this, and do you hear the people talking to you, and can you walk up the steps without falling test. I don't know what it is. I ain't old enough yet. But they finna run that test on him, and they gonna try to figure out if he's being if something is wrong with him for how he's talking on so greasy on that mic when he's instigating and doing the war. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
No, I don't want you to never mind. I want you to be clear about this. And I want everybody to be clear. This is why I left Marlon's comment up. Marlon said, what's worse are his supporters who believe it was a real attempt. The problem with the they is that they have no power. There could always be they. Those days, though, aren't larger than the majority. And unfortunately, we're in a situation, I've said this before, where our structure does not allow for they to get over them. And them right now still sit in the position of power because they have the majority. They have the majority in the House. They have the majority in the Senate. Until they get to them, it's not going to happen. So we can talk and play this position and jockeying about this is going to happen, this is going to happen, is ad nauseum. It's not going to happen as long as them are still in power. And them are still in power because they have the numbers. Why do they have the numbers? They have the numbers because we have sat on our asses and on our hands when these local elections were happening, and we allowed our gubernatorialships, we allowed our state houses, whatever chambers you may have, every state is set up differently, to be controlled by these out of control, demonic, idiotic, how Trump Republicans. And because we have states with large populations, Florida, Texas, whom have a lot of congressional seats that are deeply red, or they, when they look like they're going to be challenged, they gerrymander the maps in order to keep them red, such as what happened with the special election here in Georgia on Tuesday, where the Democrat did outperform. He outperformed himself, but he still didn't win because that seat is carved out to remain red regardless. Again, these things can be talked about, but they're not going to happen because the numbers aren't there. We can bitch, we can moan, we can complain. The most powerful thing we can do is take our ass to that ballot box and make a change. Make a change to select people, Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter, that are at least more centric, that at least display a greater loyalty.
We didn't do all that to get rid of Joe Biden. All we started doing was pointing at him going, we did not do no congressional damn hearing and do all that. We just said, oh, dang, not him, and slid the lady in instead of him in the chair. We
wait a minute.
Hold
on a second, though. Let's be real. Joe Biden made a promise. Let's see that.
Yep.
This is what I'm going
Absolutely.
back. So I'm not going to say we need to vote. We need to change ourselves as people. That's really what a real change starts. Americans need to change their ideology. We are everything that Trump is. The worst of us is Trump. And we display that worst so goddamn much, especially on these platforms, that that's why that fool is president. That's who it is. So we need to change. Biden made a promise. He said he was only running one term. Now, if he would have just slid his ass out of the way and let that woman get herself into position to run, that would have been apropos. He gave his word. Now, this thing that we used to say about the presidential things all the time, the president used to keep their word at some things, at least on the surface. They could have been a dirty, rotten scoundrel behind the scenes, but people will at least try to keep their word. There's no keeping the word. The other thing, and I say this again, to act like somebody else was a worse candidate than Trump is crazy. That is just lunacy.
No,
he's not better.
I'm not doing it.
He's not better than anyone. Not even on the Republican primary side. I would have took who the brother that was the Godfather piece of dude. Well, who's that brother name? The one that died? What's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Godfather black dude. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I would have took him over Donald Trump as a presidential candidate. You know why? Because he was actually successful. He actually did something. What I'm saying is, what was his name, Lee?
No, I'm trying to remember his name. I'm playing. Keep going.
But what I feel like the thing is,
it was Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. And even Herman Cain said Donald Trump was a racist in the end. Okay. What I feel like is what's happening with him is, and what should have happened, and it does not need to come from his party. It should be a consistent conversation across the ethos of America. If everybody was just simply saying it's time for a 25th Amendment. Now, I agree with you, Rashi, about JD Vance, and JD Vance could be possibly worse at this. That's very true. I also say at the end of the day, you still have to try something. The idea in America sometimes, and we've seen this with Black Progress, is that because we feel like something is going to be worse, we don't do nothing at all. And so we'll make bad worse by not doing anything at all. And I feel like at some aspect, Trump has done everything possible to be removed as president for a 25th Amendment. He has. And if we have to deal with JD Vance, well, shame on the people that voted JD Vance and Trump in together. But Trump has done everything to be removed. He has. The Supreme Court has done everything to be impeached. If that means that changes the way that the Supreme Court is moving forward, so be it. But they've done enough to be impeached. But at some point, Americans are going to have to make a decision. And I'll tell you, we got to stop thinking about if we do change things, what's going to happen worse. Sometimes you just have to act. Sometimes worse is actually better. Sometimes worse is better. And what I mean by that, sister, sometimes you have to burn the grass to get better grass up underneath.
That's true. What you got, Rodney?
I just think that if we want better, change start with us. And there's more of us than it is of the proverbial them. So it's their force. The elections are coming up, but even before the elections, what are we doing with pressuring the people that's in office right now to bring about the things that we want? And do we actually know what we want? If we want more and if we want better, it's up to us to get more and to do better.
Okay. So we got 8 minutes left in the show. Marlon says they hitched their wagon to Trump, not Vance. Yeah, well, folks felt that way with Kamala and Biden as well. And to your point, Brother Barry, Biden did lie. He said he was going to be a one-term president, and that was it. Now, I agree. Rodney said, I believe famously Rodney said, I will vote for the man even if he's on a ventilator. That's a better option than voting for Trump. And, hindsight is 2020. I believe in the same at this point because hindsight is 2020. I thought that he really was going to get out of the way and let Kamala run and be seen to run early and be seen as a real candidate earlier, but he did not. But again, in hindsight, I would have rather him stay on the ballot and let America choose between the two of them. Then
America is fucking nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
remember,
could have chose Mickey Mouse over him.
It's not like we had no experience with Trump at all, and he didn't do 3/4 of the crap he said he was going to do in the first damn run. So, what did you think he was going to do this go around? Now, the sad part is
Why would you ever get off of a winning horse that's winning and that has won and won against all odds? Why would you ever get off of that winning horse against a horse that nobody else has defeated? That this one horse has continually defeated.
Can we extend the conversation? Can we extend the conversation for 10 minutes? Let's extend the conversation for 10 minutes because Rodney, can we leave just 10 minutes? I'll say this much. That's not true about that horse. That horse has ran many times before and gotten his ass kicked many times before. Let's not act like because he became president after many times that he's ran, that he won every time that he ran. He wasn't that type of winner. So let's not do that. You got to give other people the opportunity. That horse has won. Joe Biden has been in the presidential hunt plenty of times before, and he's lost. And we got to be real with that. He was in there, and I'm not upset about him being in there. But what we're saying is that the fact of the matter was he said that he would be a one-term president. She never really got the opportunity to get a full run. And I don't like the way that we judge her candidacy as if she had all of the backings that typically a vice president would have if they have the full 18 months to 24 months to run a campaign. She was pretty much in hiding most of the time as vice president based off of what his administration wanted her to be. So she was already being hamstrung to begin with. And that's a problem with the DNC altogether. So I don't want to make it like he was just a winning horse, but the other side of it too, whether it was him, her, or aliens, they're better than Trump. And that's just what it boils down to. And so the thing with Biden for me was, whether it was Biden or Kamala, it does not still give Trump the ability where he should have been president. And that's my problem with the country. It's not who the candidates on the other side were. It was this idea that Trump was made out to be such a force when he was already a president. He already has so many crimes against. I mean, dude is a convicted felon, period. Like the idea that we have to lower the bar so low for this dude to be able to step over it to be anybody. I don't give a damn if Biden was out there debating and he was drooling at the mouth. He's still a better president than Trump. And that's just the facts. And I wish sometimes we just stuck to the facts, because everything else that we go off into, it always distracts from the fact that we have this fringe in our country. And I will say this, there's a fringe on the left that allowed Trump to be president too. Those people that were so upset over Israel. How do you feel about this war in Iran now? It spilled over from Gaza to the rest of the Middle East. Where are those people at? Remember, they were going to stay home. Ask those Muslims inside of Michigan, how do they feel now? And the Somalis here, they were so mad about what was going on in Gaza. And they were saying they were for Trump. Okay, now Trump wants to deport you. How do you feel about Trump now? That should be the conversation. And we need to stop allowing people to make these crass decisions that impact this country based off of what's going on in other countries. Trump was just bad for America. And that's the part for me that it's going to take a long time for me to forgive a lot of other Americans for Trump. I'm not going to trust a lot of people because of Trump. Folks who support Trump, I just have a hard time really dealing with them and seeing them, because I know you only supported him because you hated other people. I know that about most people who voted for Trump. They hate other people. And I just can't deal with hateful people, y'all.
So Lee, let me
go ahead.
I want to give to make sure we're being accurate here when we're throwing out comments. Mm-hmm. No, Biden beat Donald Trump for president. He did that. 18 other people who were supposed to be the elite lost to 45. Hillary Clinton, the Democratic standard bearer, lost to 45. Biden, the person that they said couldn't beat him, beat him. Winning horse. Talking about Biden and Trump, winning horse. They said that Biden couldn't get anything done with Congress. Biden pushed through some of the most significant legislation that has happened to this country since FDR, and one of the most consequential presidents since FDR. Biden did that when people said that he couldn't do it. Biden did diplomatic work when people said that he couldn't do it, and he did it. Biden did that. Winning horse. The Republican standard bearer, losing horse to Biden. Biden had legislation from the infrastructure projects that 45 never could get done. Talked about it multiple times. And we could go down, there's a litany of things that Biden got done that 45 still hasn't gotten done to this day. And yes, we do have the benefit of 2020 hindsight, because we see that the programs that Biden put in place, we see the continuation of the programs that Obama started, were benefiting this country. Those are the facts. Again, we had, whether you like Biden or not, or you thought that he was the best, or even whether you thought the dude was conscious, all of that is kabuki theater. There is a reality, and there are facts. These are documented facts on his accomplishments. There are things that we are losing today that benefited us that we don't want to lose. Those are the facts. And the fact is, we had a winning horse, whether he said he was going to run one term or not. If the dude is saving our lives, I don't want him to stop saving our lives because he says, well, my time is up. Nah, your time is up when the people says your time is up. And
the law.
Or the law. Well, hopefully that we'll see if that works in this coming presidential election. But I'm just simply saying we had a person who was winning, who was benefiting us. And same question, why would you give up on a winning horse towards the end of the race to take on somebody else who lost against this person that we're getting rid of, who didn't get very far in the primaries, who wasn't even really that well known politically outside of her region. She could have been she was a good candidate. I went and met her and all of that, but it was against the political tide. So I just asked the same
So
question
so
again
so
and
so
again. Why
so let
get
me
rid of a winning
Hold
horse
on. You asked for
let,
10
towards the
minutes.
end
Let's
of a
keep
race?
this at 10 minutes, and we already a minute in.
all right. So
And I'm
I
good
got
at any
two.
time.
I got 2 minutes. Let me get 2 minutes because we do this all the time in America.
And I get 2 minutes after his 2 minutes.
But you
Yes. The gentleman shall have 2 minutes after the other gentleman's 2 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
we
The
do this all the
gentleman's
time in
Minnesota.
America because we say to the victor goes the spoils. But a lot of time we don't talk about how the victors got the spoils to begin with. As far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump is like the New England Patriots. Ain't shit but Spygate here. Doesn't make them the better team. You was just filming the other team anyway. Yeah, you got the Super Bowl, but we know how you got the Super Bowl. You cheated to win. Each time he won, he cheated. It's not like he beat Hillary fair and square. It's not even like he beat Kamala fair and square. Here's the other side of it, though. The thing with Kamala is the team that she was supposed to be upon, the team that's supposed to promote her as the next heir, wasn't promoting her as the next heir. And we're not talking about that. And this is how white institutionalized racism work against black people. I'm not going to say what it is about Joe Biden as if somehow, some way he was this great. What he failed to do, what Obama did for him, Obama helped prop him up to be the next president after him. He didn't do that for Kamala. He failed at that role. And for us to always leave that part out about him and his history of how he treated black folks before he became president, some of the bills that he wrote and what it did to black people, we can't leave that out neither. So he may have won in a lot of ways. And I will say his advantage is he was a statesman. He was a senator for a long time, and he knew how to communicate with the Senate, which translates to getting communication and work done inside of the Congress. And I appreciate that. So I don't want to negate the things that he did. But it's hard for me to call this woman a failure, to say it was a problem with her. I have an issue with how the DNC handled her. They never set her up for the win, which set the country up for a failure. It's not about Trump, and it's even less about Biden. It's about how they didn't have a succession plan. Still don't have a succession plan on how to deal with Trump. The DNC is still dropping the ball. It's just the Republicans are so bad that we get to look at them. We can't say what's coming down the pipe for the DNC. And I feel like that should be the overall conversation. Like, what are you guys doing in the game? Don't talk to me about transgender sports and what you're going to do for transgenders. Sir. My bad.
That's your time, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The gentleman from Nevada.
You know, I was doing so good just listening and observing. I'm going to go back to the same thing. When we talk about secession from a vice presidential candidate, the best succession is when your winner wins and then gives up to the heir apparent, because then that sets them up. That gives them 2 years in the seat to get known, to get some accomplishments, to ride off of the successor's success. And then that gives them 2 years to campaign. So Biden running because he was winning, and he was winning for America, that included black people. When you look at the things that he did for the HBCUs, that eclipsed any other president, right? The accomplishments are real. The legislation is real. The benefits to us are real. Do I like Biden when he was younger? Did I like when Biden was hanging out with Bird and all of that? It's kind of a non sequitur, because I had to deal with what was in front of me, and that was 45 or 46. And 46 was a better person for me, for the state, for the country, and the world than 45. That's easy. Kamala could have had her turn. I wasn't a fan of her running for president then, because I didn't think she was ready. It's not that whether or not she was capable. It's just that she was not ready politically. And the results speak for themselves. Now, if we start talking about who cheated who, well, heck, Hillary cheated Bernie. So that's
your
real
2 minutes, sir. That's your 2 minutes. Okay. Gentle lady from Missouri, do you have a comment?
Okay, I just realized that if you have 15 American cents, you have one yuan. I just figured out what that is, but okay. All right, it's been a long day. All right. Anyway, the second thing I wanted to let everybody know is the words that I want you to type into the internet. One, I want you to type in Henrietta Lacks. They just got their money. Please type in Henrietta Lacks. You'll understand why I want you to type that in. When you get it in, you'll see that their family stole some sales, and that they just their family is being compensated for some stolen sales, and that they're finna get compensated. Next, I want you to type in Amendment 25. Those are that's the Amendment 25 is with the one they're using in order to call Trump's cognition into order. Brother Barry, the NAACP, maybe not your chapter, but the NAACP itself has signed on for that. They want to see whether or not old boy is actually conscious enough to deal with the seat that he is in. We are going into testing season. I don't know if that means anything to you out there in the world. If you are have a child or a grandchild that is enrolled in any type of education, public education, they're about to be tested to see whether or not they learned anything. And so you all should probably be doing the best you can to support that behavior within your absolute family dynamic. Last but not least, Operation Epic Fury is still active. And if you could please make sure you are not buying into war propaganda that puts us in a very vulnerable position, not just economically with the petrodollar, but also just like boom, I think they call it MAD, Brother Rodney, mutually assured destruction. Thank you very much.
The gentlewoman yields her time. Thank you very much. Now that we have 3 minutes left in the show, does anyone have closing comments? I'll start with Thomas Berry as he displayed the gentleman from Minnesota, please, as you display your apparel for the Watch app.
Well, yesterday was a great day. I really did shake too many hands and hug too many people. So I'll be getting off this real quick today so I can be in my solitude of aloneness. But the Watch app is really moving. And I will tell you all next week, I am going to showcase what the streaming feature looks like for the Watch. And Brother Rodney has been helping me with that. So we're working. If you have not signed up, please go to the watchapp.org, get in, sign up, be at the part of it. Listen, as Brother Rodney said the other day, and I loved it. Imagine what happened with Yahoo and the people who really got down with Yahoo at the beginning, who really invested, who really got down. I'm telling you, you want to get down with this while we're starting now. Don't wait till later. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people wait till later. A lot of our people wait till later, and we try to invest in things when it's already at the $200 per share mark. You're probably not going to make that much money at that point. Get in while it's low. You buy low and you sell high. That's how good investments work. It's a great investment, but it also is a great tool to save your family. So I'm so excited about it all, but I done talked to people too long.
Ain't nothing, y'all ladies, there ain't nothing more sexy than IPO talk. Ooh, Brother Barry, you look so handsome today.
So, Rashi, you want to get in since you already broke in your final comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. I already told you. Y'all better go check and see if that baby went to sleep so she can take her test in the next few weeks.
Brother Rodney, what you got to say?
So, if you all out there who are listening to what Brother Barry says, if you all can invest $1,000 collectively into Brother Barry's app by midnight Sunday, I will donate. I will match your $1,000. It's time for us to put up whether we really support something that's for us or not. And I'm going to put up with a few dollars. So for the first $1,000 that's put up by midnight Sunday night, I will match that 1,000.
Okay. Hey, there it is. Look, in the last minute and 5 seconds we have left, I will say, damn, that's what's up. But also I will say, if you didn't catch the beginning of the conversation, please hit the rewind. Go back to the beginning because it was awesome. It was amazing. Thank you to the guests that came on today. It was a very great feeling show. This was some great commentary that I think a lot of people needed to get. I appreciate everybody in the comments today riding with us. Thank you for everybody that tuned in too. The numbers got up very nicely early on. Some folks fell off. That's okay. It happens. They'll get an opportunity to see us again. Again, I've been playing with TikTok, so I'll get the clips out as soon as I can to post on TikTok. I want to do that sooner rather than later. I'm starting to get a little groove with that, so that's what it is. Thank you all for joining us live. Thank you all that check us out later. As we always say about this time, if no one told you that they love you, we do. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Until next week, family,